Have you ever heard a story that sent chills down your spine? Humans have always been drawn to the unexplained, the whispers of something beyond our understanding. Ghost stories in particular have a way of captivating our imaginations. They tap into our primal fears, our curiosity about what lies beyond this life. The story of Eastern Airlines Flight 401 is one such tale, a haunting mystery that continues to baffle and intrigue to this day. On a dark December night in 1972, a routine flight ended in tragedy. Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, crashed into the Florida Everglades, claiming the lives of over 100 souls. But the story didn't end there. Whispers began to circulate, stories of strange occurrences on other Eastern flights. Passengers reported seeing familiar faces, crew members long gone appearing on board. Were these just hallucinations, figments of grief and trauma, or were the victims of Flight 401 unable to find peace, reaching out from beyond the veil? Eastern Airlines Flight 401 was no ordinary flight. It was a journey marked by a series of unfortunate events, a cascade of errors that ultimately led to disaster. The flight, originating from New York City, was bound for Miami with a stopover in South Florida. On board were experienced pilots, a dedicated crew, and passengers eager to reach their destinations. Little did they know that their journey would end in the murky depths of the Everglades, their final moments a terrifying plunge into darkness. The crash of Flight 401 sent shockwaves across the nation, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unforgiving nature of fate. Eastern Airlines, once a giant in the American aviation industry, held a prominent place in the golden age of air travel. Founded in 1926, Eastern grew from humble beginnings carrying mail in single-engine aircraft to become a major player in passenger travel. The airline was known for its innovation, pioneering new routes and adopting cutting-edge technology. Eastern connected major cities across the United States and ventured into international destinations, becoming a symbol of progress and connectivity. Its silver aircraft, adorned with the iconic hockey stick livery, were a familiar sight in the skies, representing adventure and the promise of far-off destinations. Eastern Airlines wasn't just an airline, it was a cultural touchstone. It represented the excitement of air travel, the allure of new horizons, and the spirit of a nation on the move. However, like all stories, Eastern's had its share of challenges. The Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, a wide-body tri-jet airliner, was a marvel of modern engineering. Introduced in the 1970s, the TriStar was designed for comfort and efficiency, boasting advanced technology and a spacious cabin that redefined passenger experience. The TriStar was a symbol of progress, a testament to human ingenuity and the boundless possibilities of aviation. Its powerful engines allowed it to cruise at high altitudes, offering passengers breathtaking views and a smoother journey. The aircraft's advanced avionics system, a marvel of its time, provided pilots with enhanced situational awareness and control. Passengers stepping aboard the TriStar were greeted by a spacious cabin designed for comfort and luxury. With its wide seats, ample legroom and modern amenities, the TriStar set new standards for long-haul travel. However, the TriStar's journey was not without its challenges. Despite setbacks, the Lockheed L-1011 TriStar remained a remarkable feat of engineering, a testament to the relentless pursuit of innovation in aviation. Captain Bob Loft, a seasoned veteran with thousands of flight hours, was a respected figure within Eastern Airlines and the wider aviation community. His calm demeanor, sharp instincts and unwavering dedication to safety earned him the admiration of his colleagues and the trust of his passengers. Loft's passion for aviation began at a young age. He spent countless hours poring over aviation books, mesmerized by the science and wonder of flight. After years of dedicated study and training, Loft earned his wings, transforming his childhood dream into a lifelong passion. He joined Eastern Airlines, rising through the ranks to become one of their most trusted captains. Loft's commitment to safety was unwavering. He approached every flight with meticulous precision, ensuring the safety and well-being of his crew and passengers remained his top priority. His calm demeanor, even in challenging situations, inspired confidence in those around him. Captain Loft's experience and professionalism made him a natural leader both in the cockpit and beyond. First Officer Albert Stockstill was known for his quiet competence and unwavering professionalism. His calm demeanor and commitment to safety made him a respected figure among his peers. Stockstill's journey was marked by hard work and dedication. He spent hours studying and practicing flight maneuvers. Stockstill understood the immense responsibility of being a pilot. December 29, 1972 started like any other day at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Passengers bustled through the terminal, their faces a mix of excitement and anticipation. Among them were the 163 souls booked on Eastern Airlines Flight 401, their destination, Miami, Florida. The Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, a symbol of modern aviation, stood gleaming under the runway lights, its sleek design promising a smooth and comfortable journey. At the helm was Captain Bob Loft, his calm demeanor and years of experience reassuring to his crew and the passengers who placed their trust in his hands. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the tarmac, Flight 401 received clearance for takeoff. The TriStar's powerful engines roared to life, propelling the massive aircraft down the runway and into the darkening sky. Passengers settled into their seats, their thoughts drifting to the warm Florida sunshine that awaited them. For a brief moment, Flight 401 was a microcosm of everyday life, a temporary community bound by the shared experience of air travel. Unbeknownst to those aboard Flight 401, their journey would take them over one of the most unique and unforgiving environments on Earth, the Florida Everglades. This vast wetland, a tapestry of sawgrass prairies, mangrove forests, and winding waterways stretched for miles along the southern tip of Florida. The Everglades, often referred to as the River of Grass, were teeming with life, a haven for alligators, crocodiles, panthers, and a dazzling array of bird life. Its beauty, however, masked a hidden danger. The Everglades were a labyrinth of shallow water, dense vegetation, and treacherous swamps, making navigation difficult even for experienced outdoorsmen. For those unfortunate enough to find themselves lost or stranded in the Everglades, the dangers were very real. For Flight 401, this unforgiving wilderness would soon become their final resting place. As Flight 401 approached its stopover in Miami, a seemingly minor issue arose. A landing gear indicator light failed to illuminate. While this could indicate a simple malfunction, protocol dictated that the crew investigate further before attempting a landing. Captain Loft, known for his adherence to safety procedures, made the decision to circle over the Everglades while the crew troubleshooted the problem. The pilots contacted air traffic control, informing them of the situation and requesting permission to hold their position. Unbeknownst to the pilots, their attention had become fixated on the landing gear issue, diverting their focus from monitoring the aircraft's altitude. As minutes ticked by, the TriStar gradually descended, its altitude dropping unnoticed by the preoccupied crew. Inside the cabin, passengers remained oblivious to the unfolding drama in the cockpit. Some dozed peacefully, lulled by the gentle hum of the engines. Others chatted quietly with their companions, unaware that their journey was about to take a terrifying turn. The first sign of trouble came as a jolt, a subtle shift in the aircraft's angle that startled some passengers from their slumber. Then a series of increasingly frantic warnings blared from the cockpit, their urgency cutting through the quiet hum of the cabin. Panic surged through the plane as passengers exchanged terrified glances. The once placid cabin transformed into a scene of chaos and fear. The crash of Flight 401 sent shockwaves across the nation. It was a tragedy that left families shattered and a community in mourning. The wreckage, scattered across the unforgiving Everglades, became a somber reminder of the fragility of life. Yet, as rescue workers combed through the debris, whispers began to emerge from the swamp, whispers of something strange, something unsettling. The story started subtly. Cleanup crews reported seeing flickering lights near the crash site, hearing voices carried on the wind. These were easily dismissed as tricks of the light, the echoes of trauma in the aftermath of such a horrific event. However, as days turned into weeks, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Eastern Airlines employees, many of whom had lost friends and colleagues in the crash, reported strange occurrences on other flights. Objects moved inexplicably in the galleys. One of the most well-documented accounts involved a senior Eastern Airlines captain, a respected pilot with an impeccable record. During a routine pre-flight check, he encountered a man in a flight engineer's uniform, sitting in the jump seat of his aircraft. The captain, taken aback, questioned the man's presence. The flight engineer, his face etched with concern, replied, "There's something wrong with this plane. You shouldn't be flying her." The captain, assuming it was a concerned mechanic, assured him they would address any issues before takeoff. As the captain turned to speak to his co-pilot, the flight engineer vanished. Confused, the captain questioned his co-pilot about the man, only to be met with blank stares. No one matching the flight engineer's description had been on board. The captain's chilling experience was not an isolated incident. Similar reports began to surface from other Eastern Airlines flights, particularly those involving the TriStar fleet. Passengers claimed to have seen a man matching Bob Loft's description. The deceased captain of Flight 401 patrolling the aisles, his brow furrowed with concern. Flight attendants, shaken and confused, reported seeing a woman resembling flight attendant Patricia Gissels, who had also perished in the crash. She was often seen assisting passengers, her movements swift and efficient, her presence both comforting and unsettling. In one particularly eerie account, a group of passengers on a TriStar flight claimed to have engaged in a conversation with a friendly flight attendant who bore a striking resemblance to a young woman who had died on Flight 401. The passengers, unaware of the tragedy, only realized the chilling truth when they later saw a photograph of the deceased flight attendant in a news report. These encounters, while varied in detail, shared a common thread. The apparitions were described as lifelike and seemingly unaware of their deceased state. The stories of Flight 401 spread like wildfire, capturing the public imagination and fueling speculation. Skeptics, quick to dismiss the accounts as hallucinations or mass hysteria, pointed to the psychological impact of the tragedy. The crash of Flight 401, they argued, had left an indelible mark on the Eastern Airlines community. Grief, trauma, and the subconscious desire to find meaning in the face of tragedy could manifest in strange and unexpected ways. Furthermore, the TriStar aircraft, with its advanced technology and futuristic design, could have contributed to a heightened sense of unease. The unfamiliar sounds, the complex instrument panels, and the sheer size of the aircraft could have played tricks on the minds of those already predisposed to anxiety. While these rational explanations held some weight, they failed to account for the consistency of the reports, the specific details shared by witnesses who had never met, and the uncanny resemblance of the apparitions to the deceased crew members. The hauntings of Flight 401, regardless of one's belief in the paranormal, presented an unsettling truth. The line between life and death, between the rational and the unexplained, was not as clear as we might like to believe. The stories challenged our understanding of reality, forcing us to confront the possibility that consciousness in some form might persist beyond the physical body. They tapped into our primal fears, our fascination with the unknown, and our deep-seated desire to connect with those we have lost. Were these apparitions the restless spirits of those who had perished in the Everglades crash, seeking solace or attempting to warn others of unseen dangers? Or were they merely projections of our collective grief, a testament to the enduring power of memory and loss? The answer, like the murky depths of the Everglades where Flight 401 met its tragic end, remained elusive. The human mind, for all its complexity, is remarkably susceptible. It can be swayed by suggestion and prone to misinterpretations, especially in times of stress. Traumatic events like a plane crash leave individuals vulnerable, their perceptions easily distorted. The darkness and sounds of a plane cabin can contribute to sensory deprivation. Fleeting reflections and familiar scents can be misinterpreted as supernatural. Stories circulating among passengers could create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Tales of hauntings may lead individuals to seek evidence, shaping their perceptions. The power of suggestion and the tragedy's impact explain many reported sightings. The crash of Flight 401 was a deeply personal tragedy for Eastern Airlines employees. They lost colleagues, friends, and mentors, sharing laughter and unique camaraderie. Memories of those lost became ever-present, blurring the line between memory and perception. The sightings could be seen as manifestations of collective grief, a way for the living to cope with the loss, seeking reassurance and normalcy. Despite rational explanations, the stories of Flight 401 capture the imagination, tapping into a deep-seated fascination with the paranormal. The idea that consciousness might transcend the physical body holds a powerful allure for many. The paranormal offers hope in the face of mortality, suggesting the possibility of connection beyond the grave. The mystery of Flight 401 continues to spark debate, dividing opinions between belief in the paranormal and rational explanations. The truth remains elusive. Open-minded skepticism acknowledges our limitations while remaining open to the unknown. Dismissing accounts as hallucination ignores genuine fear. Embracing the paranormal without analysis risks confirmation bias. Flight 401 reminds us of the enduring mystery of the human experience. Eastern Airlines Flight 401 holds a unique place in aviation history, not just for the tragic loss, but for the chilling stories that emerged. Whispers persisted, weaving into break rooms, hushed conversations, and minds captivated by the unexplained. Were these stories mere figments of imagination, or glimpses into a realm beyond our understanding. The rational mind seeks explanations, exploring psychological phenomena and sensory illusions. Yet the heart, swayed by emotions, finds itself drawn to the possibility of something more. The stories of Flight 401 remind us of the vast uncharted territories beyond our understanding. They highlight the fragility of the line between the rational and the unknown. The legacy of Flight 401 ignites curiosity about consciousness and the mysteries at the edges of our understanding. The human experience is a tapestry woven from both the known and the unknown. Exploring these uncharted territories helps us grasp the vastness and wonder of the world. The final verdict on the hauntings of Flight 401 may never be reached. In enduring mystery, we find space for reflection and contemplation of the unknown. Please like and subscribe for more content.